Welcome to another episode of Inspired Voices. I'm Oliver Riera, and this is Randy Hernandez.
What's up, Oliver?
What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what you do?
What I do, I am a restaurateur. Restaurateur, and basically, I own restaurants.
Cool. How many restaurants do you have?
Wow.
I think you have. I want to guess. I'm going to guess 3 restaurants and 1 brewery.
Well, my partner owns 2 breweries.
Okay.
He just opened another one by the PNC Arena.
Oh, nice.
And
That's where I live.
own. You do?
Yeah.
It's there's a. I don't know the name. I don't know the address. It's a small complex that just opened across from the PNC Arena. Recently opened.
Yeah.
And I believe there's a Chinese place there. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, yeah. Down like Edwards Mill type.
Right off of Edwards Mill.
Right off Edwards. Yeah. Okay.
It's
cool.
It's in that community. So
Very
he
cool.
opened up there. We opened up 2 weeks ago.
Sweet.
So he has the 2 breweries. I own 2 Tropical Pick and Chicken Caribbean restaurants.
Nice.
And my daughter's boyfriend and I and my daughter own the Empanada Factory,
Cool.
which is in Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And we got a new project opening up. We can't talk much about it, but we're going to close November 15th, God willing.
Okay.
American restaurant with a little twist of Latin fusion, selling our beer as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. There's not a lot of restaurants doing the Latin
No.
thing, so
And
especially down here.
It'll be in the Crabtree Mall.
Nice.
So that's the only hint I'm giving you guys.
It's a hot spot right there.
Hot spot. Yep.
That's cool, man. So where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay.
New Yorican.
All right.
Born in Spanish Harlem, raised in the Bronx,
Okay.
but my family's from Puerto Rico.
Very cool, man. How was it growing up there in the Bronx?
In the Bronx?
In Harlem.
Real.
Yeah? Yeah.
Not like out here in North Carolina. It's oddly enough, I grew up in a we call them blocks, right?
Right,
The
yeah.
198th Street. That's your zone, your block, right?
That's right.
I'm real good friends with all those guys. Since 10 years old, we all tight. There's a like a niche of us, and we've been like brothers
Nice.
ever since. So you're talking, I'm 47 years old, known them for over 35 years.
Nice.
Yeah, and we still all close. And that little group, it's a bigger group, but the inner circle group, where all of us are doing well. Some live in Miami, some live in New York. I live in North Carolina, and in the outer group, the guys that was part of the circle, but not so much.
Yeah.
It's good to see them doing well as well.
Yeah. That's awesome. You keep in touch with them and all that stuff.
With
That's
everyone, yeah.
That's lifetime friends right there.
But the circle is like brotherhood. Like we're bonded.
It's like blood in, blood out.
Yeah, serious it is.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So I know you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So were your parents entrepreneurs as well?
No.
So where did that come from?
From them not being entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay. All right.
From them not being entrepreneurs, I didn't want my kids to grow up the way I grew up.
Right.
And seeing what I saw in life.
Yeah.
Being raised in Spanish Harlem, you see everything.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different
sorts of
lifestyle.
things.
The kids are sheltered nowadays. They don't see what we saw, 40 years ago. They're not being raised the way we were raised.
No.
You get smacked in the face. It's not a big deal. Your mom smacks you,
Yeah.
go
Especially
clean
a
your room.
Latino, you know
Right.
what I mean? Or
You do
Latinos.
that now, forget it. You're going to jail. Your own kid is calling the cops on you. Wait a minute.
That's cool.
911. Mom just smacked me because I had bad grades,
Yeah.
right?
I threatened
No.
my mom or my dad or someone
Right.
to call the cops on them. They're like, go ahead, call the cops. I was like, all right. No.
Yeah, no. My mom would call the cops. Here, here, tell them I'm about to beat you. It's a different. Being raised. The kids being raised today than when I was raised is different. And I just didn't want. We struggled.
Right.
We were poor, real poor. Mom, Adidas came out with the shell tops.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, can
Yeah.
I get a pair of Adidas? What? $40? No. Listen, we're gonna go. I'm gonna say some names that you guys are gonna think I'm nuts. We're gonna go to Alexander's or Conway's and we're gonna buy your sneakers for $5. What? No, I don't want those. I'm not going to school with that. But I didn't want my kids to go through that.
Go through that struggle that you went through and all that
Absolutely.
stuff.
And I had some in that little circle of friends, all hardworking guys, and we just got to see outside of our neighborhood. We were able to see other things, things that.
And how was that, seeing that for the first time?
A good friend of ours, John Cherico, first guy on the block. He didn't even live with us. He was the Italian kid.
Okay.
And he lived up north. And we met him working, in one of the restaurants. We worked in restaurants, all of us. And the only guy that had, a brand new car and had a home. And we're like, we want to be like John, right? And then John had his own little, he used to.
Wait, what age was this?
16.
16, okay.
So John was maybe 18.
Gotcha.
And he had his own little car wash business.
Nice.
And it was like, we want to be like John, you
know?
So,
so that kind of like sparked the interest.
Yeah, it did spark a lot of interest. And I had an uncle that also had, he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Had his own little candy store. And it was little penny candies,
Yeah.
But it still was his business. He was able to do things on his own.
That's cool.
So just seeing that stuff, I'm like, I don't want to work for anybody else.
Right. Yeah, I think my parents were... My mom was like always a contractor, and then my dad was, he paints houses by himself. So, but I never really saw them grow in their business. So I never thought to like be an entrepreneur, or I don't want to do the same things he did because, they struggled, right? And I don't want to struggle. So that never really crossed my mind at all. So that's good that you had someone to look up to be like, yo, you could do this too,
Yeah. And you mentioned contractors.
Yeah.
So when I was like, I think 17 or 18, I was in between jobs,
right?
Looking for a job. And at that time, the girl I was dating, who later on became my wife, she said, why don't you go work for Chase? She got me hooked up with Chase. Nice. I went to work for Chase for like a day. It's not for me. Shirt and tie, banker, it's not for me. She says, I have a friend as a contractor. Go work for him. All right. It's not for me. I got to dirty my hands. I got paint on me.
It's labor work.
I got fired like in a week. But then he rehired me. I got fired like at least 10 times. Because, I didn't know the contracting business.
Gotcha.
So he would tell me, Randy, go paint this room. Okay, I get the paint. It can't be that hard. Here's a roller.
Yeah.
Put the paint there. We're going to roll.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me I got to cover floors and cover furniture. He told me to paint walls. So I never forget that job.
Did you get paint everywhere?
Oh, paint on the hardwood floors.
Oh, my God.
On furniture. Irish guy, he freaked out. And you're fired, right?
Yeah.
And then rehired me. And one thing is that I'm ahead of myself. I'm pretty quick on learning things.
Right.
So I learned how to do his contracts. And he couldn't read or write. So I would do all his contracts for him.
The business side of it.
The business side.
Nice.
So I would see these jobs, and I'm seeing how much he's making. And I'm like, wow, he's making this much money. I'm doing the work, right? And I'm doing the work for practically nothing.
Right.
So I can do this myself. So I learned the business a little bit. By the time I was 21, I opened my first construction business. Wow. And it was called West Bronx Construction. Huh. And I opened it up. Got some partners. Well, I opened it on my own. Then I started doing some work for some landlords, 2 Italian guys. And they said, let's team up and let's open up our own construction business. They owned 11 buildings, I think. They owned 11 buildings and managed 9. So I think it was like 20 buildings under them.
Yeah.
And they said, you can do all the work. We'll create this business. You hired the guys. Long story short, by the time I was 23, we had 15 employees, 15 guys working for us. I owned my own contracting business. And at that time, right before that happened, me and my circle of friends took the police exam.
Oh. Huh.
And we all got accepted.
Really?
Well, not all of us. 2 of us got accepted. So I went into the academy.
Huh.
And as I go in the academy, I realized cops are making like $24,000, $29,000 a year.
Yeah, it's not that much.
I'm doing that in like a couple of days as a contractor.
Right.
Why do I want to be a cop?
Yeah.
So
what crossed your mind about doing that in the first place?
Because we took the test together, right? So
but why take the test? Like, did you guys want to be
Because we took the test before I started contracting. This was a year before.
Gotcha.
So then you get called, right? Like a year later, whatever, 2 years later. So we just did it. I don't even know why. We just signed up. We said, let's do it. Yeah. And I did it. And I didn't last 2 days in the academy. Realized it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And then having these 2 Italian guys that, I look up to, they have 11 buildings under them and 9 buildings they manage. And they're like, why you want to be a cop when you can do this on your own and accomplish so much more?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I dropped out.
Yeah.
And I just did the contracting for a bunch of years. And then from there, I went into more development and more construction, bigger projects.
Yeah.
I ended up working for another company. I ended up working for a development company, but they were worldwide.
Right.
So they did a lot of building in Miami, Florida, Europe. So I did work with them. and got my knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, I want to do stuff for myself again.
Yeah.
And then that's how the restaurant came about.
That's awesome, man. So, like, starting from your first business, the contracting business, the construction business, sorry.
Right.
How was the reaction with the family and all that stuff? Were they pretty supportive of it, or?
Oh yeah, they're always supportive of what I do.
Nice.
They're always supportive, you know, and I'm always moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Was it hard starting that first business?
In the beginning,
it seems like it was. Like, it's a big risk too.
The thing was that the Irish guy I worked for, Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
When I told him what I was gonna do, he said, "Please, just don't steal my work," right? And I said, "No, I appreciate everything you've done for me, you know." And it was he gave me my first van, so he gave me the first van. He let me keep the tools, and we've always maintained friendship.
Nice.
And then not too long after, he passed away. He was a young guy, but I don't know why he passed away. I never got to find out, but he passed away, and I continued on with the construction part. And in between all of that, something I don't always share, but in between all that, I'm always a hustler.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not enough
Seems
for me
like
to
it.
have one job. It's just not. Even though I'm doing good, I need to do more. Because in the time that I'm not doing something and I'm home, I just can't sit and watch TV.
Right.
So I sit there and I'm like, okay, I can do something with this time.
Yeah, that's what my brain goes to too.
I've always been into music since young. So I've always DJ'd. I was always the guy that DJ'd.
They call you up, yo, let's go DJ.
Yes. 12 years old. All my friends are older. Hey, we're gonna go to the park. We're throwing a party. You got to bring your equipment. You got to DJ.
Yeah.
12 years old. You know.
Nice.
And I barely had any equipment. So between my friend, this friend, and that friend, we pieced it together. You know. But I would work in a supermarket, collecting change to bag up groceries to buy equipment. And that's how I ended up buying my equipment.
There it is.
So I've always DJ'd. So in between the contracting, I would DJ in New York City in all the clubs. Between Thursday through Saturday, I'm in either, you know, the clubs don't mean nothing now because those clubs don't exist.
Yeah.
But one of them, I think one of them is still open. Webster Hall.
Yeah.
I think Webster Hall is still open. Copacabana is still open. I've DJ'd in all the clubs.
Really?
And I would go Thursday, Friday, and Saturday DJing, and then in the morning contracting, and I still DJ. I do it. You know,
that's awesome, man.
I love, man. Yeah.
That's very cool. I know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what about DJing do you love about? Like, do you like
escape? You escape. It's just the music. You escape. Yeah. And it's funny because my girl now, she tells me, I don't understand how you can DJ if you have no rhythm. I can't dance.
Oh, really?
I can't.
Dude, you're
dance.
a Latino. Come on.
I'm a Latino. I cannot dance. I got no rhythm. I can't even sing with rhythm. I can't even sing like, give me a song like, I don't know, like give me a child.
I got to talk to your mother, man.
A nursery song. You know, like I don't have any rhythm.
Damn.
But I can DJ. Like, you know, I can get a crowd to dance and party and have a good time. So I do it sometimes when the club when we owned the club over here in Raleigh. I used to DJ there sometimes. On the restaurant sometimes I'll DJ. It just is I escape.
Yeah.
Escape from everything. I get lost. I enjoy the music and have a good time.
That's cool, man. Was it hard getting those first clients as a contractor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
because like you don't have anything under your belt, really, right?
Back then, today if I go into contracting, I think I will be 10 times more successful than what I am now.
Right.
It's so much easier because you have social media. You can easily go out there. You do live streams. You do Twitter, Snapchats. There's so much you can do to promote yourself.
Yeah.
As a business owner, right? So today to become a contractor. You can excel so much quicker than what I did, 20 something years ago.
That's true.
20 years ago was putting ads in penny savers, daily news, like the newspaper. People don't look at that now.
You got to put that budget in for marketing.
And you got to put a budget. You got to wait weeks for it to come out, and you got to pray that it works. That it works, right? Besides, putting flyers out, mail outs out, you got to wait for business cards, networking. Opposed to today is so simple for anybody to just try to advance.
So many opportunities.
So many avenues for you to market yourself. So it was tough in the beginning. The toughest part was landing. When I got when I met the two landlords, Steve and Peter. Once I met them, things got easier.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately,
was it because of the jobs were kind of split?
Well, once I met them, because they didn't have a contractor, they needed contractors. So when they met me, I became their GC. Okay. So I became their GC for all their work. And they said, we're just spending all this money hiring a GC. Why don't we just partner and we create this business? So that's how the business came about.
Nice.
But unfortunately, I think it lasted a couple of years, and you know, you never mix business with personal, never.
Yeah.
So one of the partners said, "Can you hire my son?" It's not even his son; it was his stepson. And he said, "He's lazy. Can you hire him?" I said, "Sure." You know,
he's lazy. Can you hire him?
But you know, he has to do what you have to do. So I fired him after he worked for me, and that just went the wrong way. So,
I always told people, you know, business is business. If we're gonna get in this, you know, we're friends, but business is business. So if anything happens, you know.
I've told him, but then that just kind of like dissolved the company, and we just, you know, went separate ways. And I still continue to do contracting, but just more on a smaller scale.
Okay.
On with them,
I guess that really helped with the restaurants, having that behind you, you know.
The building part, because I build my own restaurants.
Yeah.
Right. We don't hire nobody. We don't GC the job. We do everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's fun, you know, like it's, you know how much you take a lot of pride when you go into a space and you look at this in the shell, an envelope, and you say, we're going to turn it into this kind of restaurant. Just picture it. Yeah. And people look at you like, I can't picture what you're looking at. I don't see it. I'm like, I see it. Tables here, tables there. This is how it's going to look.
Yeah.
I can't see that, Randy. So,
so that's
it's
when
just
you
a
have
different
to,
vision. Yeah.
Yeah. They have to trust you in order to get that vision out.
Yep.
Properly.
Absolutely.
That's cool, man. That's very cool. So you've been cooking all your life, or what's going on there?
Oh, yeah. In between all of that, since I was little, my mom,
you've been cooking for the black?
yeah, pretty much. It's like, look, you hungry?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like 10 years old. You're hungry? Yeah. There goes the kitchen. Go cook.
There it is.
So I open the fridge and there's stuff in there. What I do with it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to sleep. That's how I was raised. My mom, you know.
Yeah.
My grandmother raised me until I was like 10, and then I lived with my mom. But my grandmother, I'm not allowed to go in the fridge. You want something? She makes it. Like food was there, right? That's why I was always heavy. Because I come home and it's like food. Every time it's like food in the morning, food at lunch, you know, food at 3, food at 5. And you got to eat everything before you get up. But, so she wouldn't allow me to cook. So when I moved with my mom, I would call my grandmother, abuelita, you know, I don't know how to make this, and she'll tell me over the phone.
Yeah,
and
all the recipes.
Yeah, and then I started working in restaurants, and I kind of like the adrenaline of like all these tickets popping up, and you got to just get the food out.
Of
the
it,
challenge of
right?
getting the food out, beating a certain time to get the food out quick enough,
yet
having the quality of the platters going out the same way. So I've always had that interest.
Were you aware of that? That you could work fast but still put out a great quality?
Yeah, you know.
Because that's something that I found for myself. I found early on in when I was a kid and stuff like that I would always do a great job, but I would always do it really fast.
Right.
And not a lot of people had that, and I realized that early on.
There's some things you can't teach. You're just born with that. You know, it's just I don't know what it's called, but it's a hustle or something. It's just something in us.
I think it's the you know, seeing our parents like work hard. I don't know, your parents I'm sure worked hard.
No.
No. Well, my dad worked really hard and stuff like that. So seeing that every single day, you know, just I guess instilled that work ethic in me.
I didn't see that. It was just the opposite. So that's what I was like. You know, I don't want to be like my dad. You know, unfortunately, I didn't want to be like.
Well, I didn't want to be like my dad either. But his work ethic was.
He was a lazy
excellent.
guy. You know.
Oh yeah.
But you know, the first job I had was McDonald's, and you know, unfortunately, there are no jobs like this anymore, right? You know, McDonald's was a really good stepping stone for me.
Yeah.
Because back then in McDonald's, there was no microwaves. There was none of that. Everything was made on the grill, in the fryer. Everything was pressure, on time. You got to get it done.
Yeah.
You know, we need 60 burgers done. We need it now. We need nuggets done. We need French fries done. You got to move. And everything was like move. And you had to multitask. So you got fries, you got chicken nuggets, you got burgers. You're moving. One person is moving this. Now, the problem is that everything became systemized, right? Everything is a process. So now everything is processed in a factory, come and put it in the microwave, warm it up, and it's done. People don't know how to multitask now.
No.
Kids nowadays, they go get a job. Everything is a system for them. What I need you to do is just do this. Follow 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So they become.
It's like they give them a notebook and it's like, here, there you go. That's all you got to do.
And they de-enabling them. They can't do anything. These guys are just staying there. I get employees now. People come to me and you want me to do all of this? Yeah, I need you to do that, and that, and get it done within this time. And I didn't have to do that in McDonald's, or I didn't have to do that in Taco Bell, whatever, because their systems are different, and they just they slow you down. Their work task is minimal to like 1 or 2 things. There's no more multitasking like the way it was back then. So McDonald's helped me a lot, you know, because I'm like popping French fries back here, and I got burgers we're flipping over there, and you had to move.
Right.
So that helped me in the restaurant business. Then I went to work for Fuddruckers. You ever heard of Fuddruckers?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So I worked for Fuddruckers, and there it was even quicker because the burgers are medium well done, and so on. So now you got temperatures of food, right? So so you got to learn how to move burgers, and so you got to be fast, constantly be fast.
Did you already learn how to do that before?
So I'm already learning that and prepping and stuff. But I never thought I would own a restaurant. Yeah, never thought I would own a restaurant. Never.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
When so going to New York, and then from New York, did you come straight to North Carolina, or?
Well, I worked for a development company doing ridiculous projects. I was on one of the biggest condo transitions in Manhattan. It was on 65th Street and First Avenue.
Yeah.
And I don't recall how many apartments, but it was 5 buildings that they were taking from a apartment status and turning them into a condo status. So basically, they bought the building for a little over $1 billion. It was the most expensive real estate bought at that time.
Yeah.
This was 6-7 years ago. 10 years ago. And so we were converting it, and I was part of that project. So, and I lived in Hopewell Junction, which was 2.5 hours away.
Gotcha.
So I would drive 2.5 hours one way, 2.5 hours back. But in the process, I would end up staying in the building sometimes. It's just too much. So I would stay there.
Yeah.
And that job was an eye opener. You got to see a different level of customers. It's not the norm.
Yeah, it's more like high class, right?
No, it's not. It's just a whole different level of people.
Yeah.
You know, people that just come from Venezuela, they'll call up and they'll say, hey, I want to buy 6 apartments. My budget is $25 million. I need 6 of them at like maybe 3 1-bedrooms and 3 2-bedrooms each. I'm putting my niece, my cousin, whatever. And they'll tell you what they want. I want this, and this.
Wow.
And they will never see the apartments.
Yeah.
Money's all done. It's all wired. Everything. Just different level of people. Just different level of what we're used to, right? People that come here. Hey, I'm on my way, and I'm on my way. I want the red carpet down. They want everything, right? I'm on my way, and they want a maid, and they want this. It's just a different level of people that we were dealing with, and I got to see different things, and in between that 5-hour travel, it just burned me out.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it burned me out. And every day I would go to work. I'm like, today's the day I'm gonna quit. Today's the day I'm gonna quit. Today's the day. And then one day I said, I'm done.
Yeah. Was it just a drive that killed you, or was it?
Well, it was a lot of other things going on
gotcha.
too. But while we were doing that, I also owned a cleaning company. Like I told you, I can't stay still. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the money, right? It's listen, I have so much time still. Now I have this time. I'm like, well, what can we do? And I see opportunity, so I run with it. And I ran with this opportunity. We had a really successful cleaning business. So we I was doing the cleaning business, doing that. And then as I was driving to work one day, I said, you know what? I can live off the cleaning business. Right. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'll figure it out.
And you were able to take that budget cut.
Right.
From just quitting your job to pursue that.
And I had just turned 40. I said, you know what? I love what I do. It's a great business. You meet a lot of people, but I'm not happy with the drive, and I just need a change in life. So I went to Puerto Rico. I took some time off. I gave them my couple of weeks' notice, and I ended up going to Puerto Rico. And while I was out there, I went by myself. When I was out there, my mom decides she wants to go with me, and so now my mom shows up. Yeah. And when I'm out there, I go to a restaurant outside of a hotel, and it was a cool little restaurant. It was called La Estación. So in English is the gas station. The station, right? But it was a gas station that they converted into a restaurant.
Oh, cool.
And it was really cool because it was something you don't normally see. Yeah. And I don't like mofongo. But my mom was like, Randy, order mofongo. Whatever. So I ordered it, and it was like, oh my God, this is really good. How come I never liked this before? I want to meet the cook. I like to talk to people. I like to meet people. Yeah. So I want to know who's the owner, who's the cook, what's going on, who's making this food, like why you do La Estación. I'm just curious. Yeah. And it turns out the cook was the owner. He's a Jewish guy from Queens. What? And he married a Dominican lady, and they end up in Puerto Rico. Interesting. And they turned this little gas station into a restaurant. Wow. And they cooked out of a pickup truck. What? Which was, like all this was like, and I'm like, man, if he can do it. Yeah. Now, I don't know how to cook Spanish food at that point. Not that much. I can cook some stuff, but I'm not really, I really wasn't into it as much at that point. Right. And maybe like either that day or the next day. It was while I was in PR.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine who I call my brother, who is Shadi's brother-in-law, Eric.
Okay.
So he calls me, says, Randy, you know what? It's every time you come to North Carolina, I keep forgetting to take you to this little Cuban spot. I want to take you. The guy's selling the restaurant. I said, really? I booked my flight from PR. I said, I'm going to go check it out. So I came over here because I felt I'm in a restaurant.
Especially after seeing that.
That's my whole point. I'm sitting here and I'm like I'm intrigued by this man from New York.
Yeah.
He's Jewish, doesn't know the culture, learned the food. He's amazing. His food is delicious. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know, I'm going to go see what Eric has to say. I come here in North Carolina, I walk into Tropical Pickin' Chicken. And as soon as I saw it from the outside, I was like, I want it. How do we get it? How do we buy it? Yeah. So the guy tells me his offer. I made him my offer. I made him an offer more money than what he asked me for. Mm-hmm. I said, this is what I want to offer you. And he looked at me and says, are you nuts? He threw me out the store, basically. He's like, I'm not taking that. He threw me out the store. So I was like, this guy's nuts.
He's you're a big shot or something?
I offered him more money, but I offered him in a time slot. Like within 6 months, I'm going to pay you more than what you asked me for. But he wanted it all in one shot. So I'm trying to buy out some time, only so that I can learn the business and let the business pay for itself with its own money rather than me putting out the money and then, there it is. And pay for my mistakes. Well, I had to pay for my mistakes. So I ended up going back home, and that's all I can think about was this restaurant. And I'm still going to work. Remember, I'm still in that time slot of give them my notice. And I'm more disgruntled now. I'm like, I really don't want to be here, driving, whatever, it's miserable. And I stopped working. Now I'm working on a cleaning business. And then maybe a month or so goes by, he calls me, goes, I'll accept your offer. Can you come back down? I said, I'll go back down. But that offer's not on the table now. So I went back to his original offer to buy him out for less than what he asked me for. And then I ended up buying it for less and just took over it January 1st of 2012. But we bought it in late October.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So
I had no idea about the restaurant business. I mean, I know restaurants. I worked in restaurants, but not being an owner.
Now, is that scary for you? Because but the thing is, like, you have all these businesses that you did.
I had the cash flow.
You had the cash flow, right. But not just that, but like, you take a lot of risk, it seems like.
That's risk, yeah.
And so not knowing the restaurant business, that's got to be a scary thing, right?
It was, but remember, I had the cleaning business, right? So I had the cash flow to cure my mistakes. Okay. Yeah. I think if I didn't have the cleaning business and I would have just bought this restaurant, I probably would have hesitated. Yeah. Because now I have to depend on the restaurant to give me the cash flow. Right. But I had a source of income that I knew that if I fail, or if it's sinking, this business can help it. Right. And sure enough, that's what was happening. I came into the restaurant, suit and tie guy, corporate world, right? The guys in the restaurant, they were like, we give him 2 weeks. I'm going to buy the restaurant back in a month. You see, he's not going to last. He's not going to dirty his hands. Look how, how he's dressed, whatever.
Did that irritate you?
Oh, yeah. It didn't irritate me at that point.
You more, right?
When I found out, which was like a month after I took ownership, the staff told me, Carlos gave you like a couple of weeks before you're going to give it back to him. I was like, oh, really? And then they started, so that's just more fuel of like, no, wait, hold on. We're going to roll up our sleeves, I want to get dirty. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you go, because I got to get into the business. And so I got into the business, but believe me or not, I didn't realize that I owned it. I knew I owned it. I'm the owner, right? I was responsible for it. But it kind of didn't really hit me. This is mine. This is my restaurant. I've always owned businesses. I always had a cleaning business or the construction business. But it wasn't tangible, meaning that I ran them out of my garage, right? So you go to my garage, my tools are there. That's it. It's part of my home. Right. Yeah. This is a physical building. I have the employees are there. They go there every single day. It's a different type of ownership. So it didn't really hit me until maybe about a year later. I ran it, didn't change the menu, kept everything the same. And then...
it seems like the reason it didn't hit you is because you were just putting your head down and just working.
That's exactly what happened. I just went on board and I became a worker, not an owner. Right. And I was working the restaurant. I didn't own it. So, and then his wife stood on board with us a couple of months so that she can help me with the food and keeping everything the same. Yeah. But maybe, I think it was like September, my cousin, his father passed away in Puerto Rico, so he asked me to go with him. Even though he's my uncle, I don't really know him. It's like, I don't know him. So I went, and while I was out there, I got to enjoy other restaurants. And I'm like, wait a minute, I own a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what? I own a restaurant. But it didn't feel like mine because it kept the identity of a Cuban Dominican restaurant.
Yeah.
So I went out there with like a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? We're going to change that restaurant. We're going to make it Puerto Rican. Because that's who I am. I'm going to put it out there. Now, I was talking to Eric and Shadi and Priscilla. And we were talking to everybody. And I said, while I'm in Puerto Rico. And I said, the only reason why I'm hesitating is I am in North Carolina.
Right.
Okay? Listen. We got to be honest, right? I'm in North Carolina. There's not that many Latinos.
No.
It's still heavy American. And regardless of what people say, I'm not that guy. But there's still a lot of racism, no matter what happens.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we talk about. So we're talking about this. Do you really want to put that you're Puerto Rican? And I was kind of hesitant because they were telling me, you should be hesitant. And then as I'm in Puerto Rico, I'm feeling Puerto Rico. I'm feeling the pride. I mean, I'm in PR and I'm loving what I see.
It's your blood.
I start buying flags. I start buying all these memorabilia. So I went with a bag, I just told you. I came back with 2 big bags. I had to buy these big luggages to come back with so much stuff that I bought. And I came back. I said, we're going to do a whole new campaign. It is tropical picking chicken, but it's tropical picking chicken, Puerto Rican Latin cuisine, bottom line. So I put the flag in front of the restaurant. Yeah, that flag was ripped down so many times. And it would fuel me even more because people were like, why would they take the flag down? Right? So it would drive me even crazy. Like, people would take the flag down. They'll go to the bathroom, take the flag down. They would do,
little things here and there
that would just drive us nuts.
Damn.
So that fueled me even more. So, we're going to go heavier on this. We're going to start marketing it. And believe it or not, it took off. It really did. People, they appreciate it. And out of nowhere, all the Puerto Ricans came out. All the Latinos came out. Cubans, Colombians, Dominicans. They started coming to the restaurant. But not from Wake Forest. They were coming from Fayetteville, Greensboro, Virginia, South Carolina, Charlotte.
That's cool.
So this little restaurant that only sits 48 people was driving traffic from hundreds of miles away. Mm-hmm. Not too many restaurants can say they do that.
That's true.
All right.
Even my parents know it.
Yeah. You don't. How do you seriously? Would you go and travel and say, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Let's travel 2 hours. Let's jump in the car. Not too many.
Yeah, that's true.
Do that.
Yeah.
I'm
hours away and stuff like that.
I might go 30 minutes, 40 minutes out.
Yeah.
I'm craving
that's about
something.
The max right there for
I'll
food,
go 30, 40
I mean?
minutes out. But listen, I'm not going to drive 2 hours away.
Right.
However, if you live in a town or you live in an area that you've been living for 10 or 15 years and you haven't had your food and all of a sudden a restaurant opens up and it is 2 hours away, you might do that. And that's what happened. So we started driving this traffic and it just, my pride even got, I was like so excited because I would talk to people and they would tell me, I drove 2.5 hours to come here, or I drove 3 hours, or I drove 2. I drove from Virginia. I'm staying in a hotel. I'm like, what? And I'll go to the kitchen. I'll tell my cooks, like, they drove from Virginia. We got to make sure the plates come out right. Yeah. So,
top notch.
Yeah, absolutely. And then from there, the restaurant took off and then people started asking me, you need a bigger place. You need something where we can dance and we can have bands and you can, expand. But not only expand in the food, expand in the culture so you can bring live bands and you can have adult parties. Because one thing about us here too, as an adult, 35 or 30 years older, there's not too many Latin places, actually there is none now, where you can go and have a nice meal, have a nice drink, and maybe listen to some Latin music. Live.
Right. No, there's something
we
like
didn't
that.
have it.
Yeah.
And then that's how the second business came about.
Gotcha.
And then we just continued from there.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I think my dad performed at Tropical Pickin' Chicken with his band a few years ago.
It must have been Latin Quarters. It was the other restaurant.
Oh, that was it.
It was Latin Quarters.
I remember that. Yeah.
What band was that?
Dude, I don't know. He's been in a couple bands for years.
We've hired so many people, so many different bands. And then that took off. And then from there we keep moving. We keep reinventing ourselves and looking for, what I'm trying to do is bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Especially here in North Carolina. There's only, for real, I go back to that race thing, right? So there's only one Latin culture out here. It's Mexican. Yeah. Right? They come in a restaurant.
That's in a lot of places,
You're Mexican. No, I'm Puerto Rican. Well, what's a Puerto Rican? It's not what's a Puerto Rican. We're Puerto Rican, So people will come to the restaurant. You have sour cream. You have tacos. You have tortillas. No, we don't. What kind of Mexican restaurant is this? Well, we're not a Mexican restaurant. Yeah. So it's bridging that gap. Right. And that's what we're doing. Right. And that's exactly what we're doing. TPC, I think it's got its name out. We call it TPC. I think it's got its name. It's got its following. We sold Latin quarters, and so we no longer own that. And we have the Empanada Factory, which is kind of a twist to, we're not saying it's Puerto Rican food. It's actually a Latin street food.
Yeah.
So that's another type of food. What we're doing is just bringing street food from different cultures, from Colombia, from Puerto Rico, from Santo Domingo, from
because empanadas is a Venezuelan dish, but
it's a mixture, right?
But
how you make it inside,
how you make it is what makes it different from each culture.
We bake it, it's Argentinian, right? If you the way you fill it with meat and potatoes, you can say it's from Colombia, from Brazil. It's just the different fillings that changes where it's coming from. But now we are starting to do tacos. We're starting to do bowls. We're starting to do other platters, what I call Latin street food, where, when you go to any culture, any town, Brazil or Colombia, and you just want to grab something to eat with your hands. You don't want to sit down and have a meal. That's what that Empanada Factory is about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I've been to the Empanada Factory.
Yeah. Well, that's the first TPC. That was the
first one?
That was where that's the first one I bought from Carlos. And we had an opportunity a year ago today, a year ago this week, that we moved that store up the street to a larger location. And now we still have the original TPC. We said, what are we going to do with it? And we came up with the empanada concept.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So once that first restaurant started blowing up, did you still see people like tearing down the flags and all that stuff? You still do? You still this day, right?
But not like that. But you just get comments. You get, we've gotten phone calls and stuff, especially when that whole, when Trump was running for president. It was.
Yeah, that's when all hell broke loose.
It was bad. Like, we had one of my employees in the back of the store. They wrote, we can't wait for you to go back to your country with a spray can. They sprayed the whole
your
entire
employee
car. Yeah, one of my employees. Somebody sprayed on her car.
Oh, on her
brand
car.
new car. Like, why? So we still go through that stuff. I try to keep the politics out of it. I don't talk about politics at all. I never said who I voted for or who I'm for. I don't want to, because if I do, it just creates, especially in our business,
Right.
So
there's no solution to politics.
No, there isn't. So we don't talk about it, but we still get that. You still get that.
You just can't listen to it. That's all it is, and then you just gotta keep moving. Because if you do listen to it, it's just gonna stop you. It's gonna slow you down,
But you get like, I had an incident in the store. I wasn't in the store though. I wasn't in the store, but it was a customer talking on the phone, how he can't wait for Trump to get elected, so that he could send all the Latinos back to their country, because he doesn't want them here. He was talking some nonsense stuff. The lady behind him, she's American, but she's married to a Mexican, right? She's straight up American from the South. And she's married to a Mexican. They had a child together, and the child is there. The child is maybe like 10 years old.
Yeah.
So the child tells the mom, I hear the story there, and the child tells the mom, why is this man so mad and so angry at Latin people? What did they do? The child goes to the man and tells the man, she pokes him. She goes, sir, why you don't like Latin people? And he was so embarrassed, and he couldn't say anything. He just stood up and he left the restaurant, right? Because he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
But why does that have to happen? Why does he have to put himself in that situation, make other people feel embarrassed? He'd have to scream on. He's screaming on the phone, but he wants us to hear, right?
Yeah, he does. It's
can't wait for the Latino to go back to their country, And I've had an incident where a customer wasn't happy with their food, and then argument escalated, and the same thing he tells me. He says, I can't wait for you to go back to your country. I'm like, well, what country? I was born in. This is my country.
From the Bronx, come on.
Yeah. What country? Whatever country you come from. I said, well, I was born and raised in the United States. I was born in Spanish Harlem. And he's like he was confused. He was like, well, you Mexicans need to leave. I said, first of all, I'm not Mexican. And second of all, I'm from America. And he was so insulted by the fact that I'm American. But you get that, And this was recent. This was just recent. So
gotcha.
you get this, and we just keep it out the business. And so when you say, do we still have it? Absolutely, we still have it. Less in Raleigh, more in Wake Forest. Depends on where we are, right?
Right.
But
Wake Forest. There's not really much not a lot of Latinos, right?
No,
Not at all. It's still growing, that
but
part.
it is, and you know, you get some, you get that small percentage, and
Mm-hmm.
all you got to do is just ignore it and just move on, and don't let it eat at you, and don't let it, bite at
Exactly.
you.
I mean, everyone that I know that lives up in Wake Forest, I tell them about the empanada factory, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I love that place. It's good."
It's a cool little spot.
It's about like, it's almost like, how they say it's about the content, not like how fancy it is, right? So it's about how good the food is, and let the food speak for itself.
Yeah, it's for us is about the food and about building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I try, and I've learned that from the development industry, where when we sold the homes, we had to know our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to know their name. You need to know everything about them. So when I go, if they have an issue, here you have a customer, and it really doesn't matter how much money they spent. Forget about that fact. The fact is that they bought a home from us, right?
Yeah.
If they bought a home from us, and we go to their home, we should know about them.
Mm-hmm.
We should know. We should, hey, John, how you doing? How's everything? Hey, did your wife give birth yet? We need to know that stuff.
Yeah.
So you're building relationships
Right.
with them. Same thing with us in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I have people that come to me. I talk to everybody. And they'll stop me in the street and, hey, how's your daughter? She's still in school in Fort Lauderdale. I'm thinking, how do you know that? Because I sit down with everybody and I talk to them. And sometimes I say more than what I should be saying. And they know more about me than I know about myself.
Right.
Or I've had people come say, hey, how's your mom's knees doing? How you know about my mom's knees? But, didn't she have a knee replacement? Yeah, like, how do you know? So
you stalking me, bro? What's up?
Like, you stalking? So what you doing? So that happens. But it's all about building relationships. And what happens is, and we just had an incident today, with my daughter, where a good customer of mine sends me a message privately. She goes, hey, Randy, I went to your restaurant and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to let you know the empanadas didn't come out hot, right? And I said, wow, that's a surprise. We make everything to order. I'll look into it. I'll get back to you. So my daughter, gets irritated. And she's like, Dad, you're always giving away stuff. Like you give them, something, 20%, to come back. But that's who I am. I'm building relationships.
Oh, yeah, right?
Absolutely.
You
have to build a relationship with these people because, see, they'll forgive you for that.
Right.
Right. If I didn't build a relationship and there was no relationship, trust me, I wouldn't got that. That message would have never came across privately. It would have been on Yelp. It would have been everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That place sucks. I went to get there. The food was cold and whatever.
Exactly.
But because we build a relationship, people are willing to forgive you more. They feel that they know you.
Right.
They feel they know you. And I try to know everybody. I try to remember everybody's name, but sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming.
Oh, of course.
And I know somebody. I'm like, I know you, but like, where do I know you from?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So building relationship is key for me because it helps you expand, it helps you grow, and people are going to protect your business.
That's what I do with myself. I always give things free here, free there, just to build that relationship. And that's the key to building a successful business, right?
You have.
It's all about relationship.
And you have all these people that's going to protect your business when you're not there. When I'm not there, I'll get, Randy, I was in your store, this and this happened, or this and this happened. Or like the incident with the little girl and the mom. The only reason why I know is because she's a good customer of mine. She called me, she sent me a message, and you can tell she was crying. She was hurt by what happened. And she's like, Randy, why do we got to live like this? Why? Why does this happen? She goes, and my daughter stood up and said this, and this. If you don't have that relationship, I would have never known about that situation.
Right.
That's
true.
I don't want to have the typical restaurant that you walk in and you don't know the owners, right?
Right.
You go in there, you don't know the owners, you just go eat. And
That's
I want that people can feel comfortable. If there's a problem, call me. My numbers are there. Everybody knows my number. You have a problem, call me. Call me on my cell. Let's talk about it. Send me a private message. You get me through Twitter. You get me on Instagram. You get me on Facebook. On my cell phone, you go to the store. They'll give you my number. There's so much access to me because I live this. This is my life, right? It's not like... So maybe I take it too personal, but I do. I bleed it, I eat it, I live it.
Yeah.
Other owners is just an investment, right?
Right.
This is an investment. Like my partner is an investment. He does not get close. My partner's like, I don't really care, right? I don't care about you, your family, what you have to tell me. I'm here to make my money.
Yeah.
But he's got a big heart. But he's on the right path, right? His mindset is, listen, when you go to McDonald's, do you know who the owner is? You don't care. You just get your food and you get in and you get out.
That's right.
Well, I'm not McDonald's. I'm more... I'm building a brand. I want when you come in that you know us and then we sit down and you feel like home. You go in there and you feel like you're a piece of home.
Yeah, I teach acting, and so I do this kind of the same thing with my students. I'm just not teaching them acting. I'm invested in their life. I'm trying to help them become a better person, not just a better actor. So it's investing in that relationship between the student and teacher to build them up.
That's how it is.
And it's, building relationships is a great way to get a business if you don't have anything prior. You don't have like a resume or anything like that, right? Start doing things for free. And then build that relationship and keep going and get more clients and all that stuff.
And it builds your character, it builds who you are. And if
it
tomorrow,
humbles you too.
Yeah, it does. But you have to be humble. That's the bottom line is you have to stay humble. You can't let nothing get to your head. And I always remember where I came from and where I lived at, and and there's all the struggles.
Yeah.
And it's funny because just yesterday I was looking through Facebook, and I was telling my girlfriend about a guy that I know from the neighborhood. Everybody was scared of him, a little guy, right? And he was always in and out of jail. And I don't know how I bumped into him on Facebook yesterday, but to see him now, he plays golf. He lives in Miami. He's not that guy,
right,
that he was back then,
right.
To see that's I'm happy to see that. I'm happy that, you came out the streets and he's doing something positive for himself. Now, you still got those friends that you see that. Like,
of course,
you're still there? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
You're going to be 50 years old. You live with mom still? What's wrong with you?
Get your shit together, man.
Yeah, come on. You got 18 kids and you living at home with mom. 9 of them live with you in a one bedroom. Like, dude, wake up, right? And then the first thing they do, man, can you lend me $20? No, man. Nothing, But, you gotta evolve in your life, and you always gotta look at how to do better, but you always have to humble yourself. So I'm always looking at where I came from, and unfortunately my mom still lives in the same neighborhood. She doesn't want to move. There's no reason for her to live there. She just likes it there.
Yeah.
I hate it there. I don't know how she can live there. Has nothing to do.
Have you tried to buy her house or anything like that? And she was like, I don't need a house.
No, she doesn't. And the thing is that, like, I did a live video a year ago. I went to stay with her. I go visit. And I was stressed. First, I went there stressed, right? So I drove down. I'm already tired. I'm stressed. I wanted to take a little break, so I go there. I was more stressed when I left her house than when I got there. She's on the 4th floor, same level as the train tracks, right? So the train just rumbles through the apartment. You just feel, right? So I'm trying to sleep, right? This is no lie, no exaggeration. This is the story. I'm trying to sleep. Train passes by. I'm like, oh. I don't know how she can do this, right? Next, I'm dozing off. Chihuahuas next door barking. I'm like, oh my God, like, you serious? Like, by 12 o'clock, boom, boom, merengue, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, no, this God is playing with me. He's playing with me right now. He just doesn't want me to go to sleep. So I must have dozed off. I got through the train. I got through the Chihuahuas, right? I got through the ding, 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 ding. Right? So it's like maybe 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know what time it is. Next, I hear. Next door, they banging. But that didn't last for maybe 2 minutes. But it woke me up, the headboard. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, my God, are you serious? Like, I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Right? Then fire alarms, car alarms, music, and the guys driving down the street with the boom, 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 boom. Then there was a fight. Then the cops came. And it's not even 5 in the morning yet. I'm like, I have bags under my eyes. I'm exhausted. All I'm thinking about is I'm going to check out. I'm going to go out. I'm going to leave out of here. I'm going to check into a hotel. I need to get some sleep. But that's the way I grew up. I've never realized all of that was around me growing up, and it was every day, right? But coming to North Carolina, living out here, and if I hear cricket, peaceful, right? I wake up. I'm like, oh my God, did you hear that? I was like, yeah, did you hear that?
What was that? In the house.
Yeah, what was that? It's a bug. Something's moving. Like, right? Now I go back to New York, and I'm like, Mom, how can you live here? Like, how can you sleep?
It's normal to her.
Yeah, she's like, I can't go to sleep if it's like that. So when she comes to the house, she says, this is too quiet. She has the TV on, she has the fan going. And I'm like, what's going on? She needs the noise to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need to live there. She's there because she likes, she the neighborhood still. It's the friendships that are there, the parents that she grew up with, and that she's been around. But there's no need for her to be there. And I don't understand how people can just, it's not about, it's the quality of lifestyle I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? So she parks her car, it drives me crazy. She parks her car, it's like 2.5 blocks away, right? Because it's in a parking lot. There's no parking. So in order for her to park her car, she rents a parking spot, which is 2.5 blocks away.
Yeah.
So she's got to Uber home sometimes. So like I don't get it.
Really?
I don't get it. You're like,
damn.
You got to walk 2.5 blocks when it's freezing cold and she got bags. Like, so she parks the car in front. She got to carry the bags in the building, but then she got to run back outside before she get a parking ticket. Like, why do you want to live that lifestyle? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. That's not a quality lifestyle.
My parents are the same way. They just never. My mom especially is doesn't want to. She doesn't want to evolve, just like you said, and she just settled. That's pretty much it.
I just and over here, you know, like over there, in one day, what I could get done here in a day, I couldn't get done in a week there.
Yeah.
You know, in a week. You know, here it's such an easier lifestyle. It's boring, but it's an easier lifestyle, right? Right. We get up in the morning. You can go to give you an example. You go to the gym in the morning, hit the DMV, maybe change your license for whatever reason. I'm just, you know, hypothetically throwing these things out. You can go to a doctor's appointment by 11, right? And still get to work by 12, work your shift, and still go home. You try to do any of that in the city. First of all, going to the gym is a mission. Finding parking, you know, trying to get in the gym. The gym is packed out.
Right.
You can't even work out. So it's just a waste of day trying to do that. Going to DMV, you need the whole day to go to DMV. You know, so your quality of lifestyle diminishes while you live out there. You come out here and it's, maybe the cost of living and the money that you make is less, right? But I think no matter what you do in life, if you hustle, if you're a hard worker, you can accomplish whatever you can accomplish wherever you go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I came to North Carolina not knowing anybody but Eric, and Shadi wasn't here back then. It was just Eric and Priscilla.
Right.
And within 5 years, we've opened over 5 restaurants. It's incredible. We moved at a pace. I move at a pace that sometimes I sit back and I'm like, you're nuts. Like what I'm doing right now, the restaurant we're gonna take over November 15th.
Right.
It's a big restaurant. It's gonna change.
It's the next level for you.
It's the next level. It's definitely a game changer for us. It's gonna involve a lot more people. So right now I have a total of 35 people that work for me. That location has 54 employees.
Just that location?
Just that location.
Wow.
So it goes to show you the scale, right? So I got, you know, between 2 restaurants, we have 35 employees. When you add the empanada factory, we probably go 42, you know, maybe 42.
Yeah.
That restaurant alone is 54 employees.
Wow.
There's 15 servers alone. Yeah, so it's a different level. It's a game changer for us. It's not as fast paced as TBC. TBC is really fast paced.
Yeah.
Tropical Beijing is fast. We're fast. It's just you go in and it's like nonstop during lunch.
Yeah.
This is a sit down restaurant, but it's a nice restaurant. It's in the Crabtree Mall, so we're gonna get a lot of volume.
That's very cool.
So we're looking.
Can you say the name?
No.
No. Okay.
Not yet.
Maybe you'll come back.
After the 15th.
Yeah.
I need to have the keys in my hand. You know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Lease aside. Health inspection's done. Tomorrow, ABC permits will be filed by tomorrow. It's all rocking and rolling, but you just never know.
Right. Yeah.
You never know. You know,
got to have that confirmation.
When you go, the closing day, you never know. The owner might just say, "Hey, I love it. I don't want to sell it. You know, I want to keep it." Or you just never know.
Yeah. So it seems like you're the type of person that never really depends on anyone. You just depend on what you can control, which is yourself.
Yeah, you're right. I only depend on myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I have. When I say partners, you know, it doesn't always mean financial partners. It just means people that I go to, you know, that I rely on support, you know, that we can talk about. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the only one you could depend on is yourself.
Right.
That's the bottom line. Look at the mirror. If you're failing in life, it's not because your mom didn't raise you right. It's not because your father was an addict or your father died at an early age or because your father abandoned your family. It's not, no other reason. If you're failing, look in the mirror. That's the only reason why you're failing. Yeah. Yeah, that's the bottom line. They can't make excuses. Well, my parents didn't have the money to put me through college. So you're failing because of that. Right. Or because, you know, my girlfriend left me at an early age, you know. Well, my wife broke up with me. She cheated on me, you know. So I'm suffering. Alcoholics and I'm depressed. You know, my parents are an alcoholic. And, you know, I talk about it openly. My father was an alcoholic and so was my mom. You know, they actually are both drug addicts. And, you know, my mom is not now. And she's been she hasn't done drugs in over 30 years. But that's my strength. I don't want to be like them. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to be like you. As a matter of fact, I don't like you guys. I don't want to be like you guys, you know. So that's a strength. Other people is a weakness for them. Oh my God, my mom and that, you know. So I need.
It's an excuse for them.
Yeah, I need to do drugs, you know. But one thing about my mom, not so much, and my dad actually, they was always up for me, right? So while they smoking weed, right? They like, this is weed. You know, you want to smoke it? No, I don't. 'Cause I don't want to be like you. Gotcha. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to have that face, you know, that depressed look on it. I don't want that look. So, but they've always taught me about things. So this is this kind of drug. This is this kind of drug. This is this kind of alcohol. This is this alcohol. So, I'm 47. The first time I had a drink, I was 35 years old. Oh wow! First time I had a hardcore drink. I was at my friend's bachelor party. We went to Miami. First time I'm in Miami, and we're in oh my God, what's the name of that club? It's a famous club. I don't remember now, but it'll come to me later.
A big club, big famous club.
Starts with an M. I'm really bad when it comes to
me too, man. Me too.
So anyway, where they dance, all the women dance there, and they don't strip on us. It's a club. It's whatever. It'll come to
dance
me
club.
Later. Yeah. So we're in there, and he's drinking, right? And it's his bachelor party. And I said, Rob, I'm gonna have what you have. He's like, are you crazy? I said, yeah, I'm gonna listen. It's your bachelor party. Whatever you got, I'm gonna do it. So I didn't know it was Jack Daniels straight up on rocks, right? And I said, all right, I got this. We're on the dance floor.
First time drinking.
First time drinking. I got this. Come on. He toast, right? All my friends are on me. So I just guzzled it. Spit it all out on the dance floor. Blah, like, how can you drink this? Like, this is some nasty stuff. Are you out of your mind? Like, guys, what do you get out of this stuff? You know? But by the end of the trip, I became a Jack Daniels fan, you know?
There you go.
Because I learned how to drink it, you know?
Where do you drink this? Give me another one.
Yeah. But that was the first time that I've had a drink because I don't accept that stuff. I don't, I see my parents and stuff like that, and I've seen other people, and I don't want to be like them, So my father died of drugs and alcohol. His lungs gave away, but I have no pity either. He wasn't there for me, right? He didn't raise me. So when I saw him to the hospital, he's like, "Oh, son, you shouldn't drink." I said, "I don't because of this.
Yeah.
The only credit you have is that you created a strong son not to be like you." So, and how you did that is you pretty much wasted your life to show me not to be that way. Right?
I guess that's something that you could thank him for, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I could thank him for, But what I'm saying is when they're failing, they immediately look for an excuse, right? Or, I moved to this country, to this town. Let's say I lived in New York and I moved to Arkansas or whatever, and this is the reason why I'm failing. BS. The only reason why you're failing is you. Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror. You know what? If you can't get a successful job or you can't, maybe not everybody has that, but you know what you could do? You could work 3 jobs. Work 3 jobs.
Right.
Go out there, work at McDonald's and then go work in Walmart and then go work in Burger King. Yeah, maybe you got to work more hours, longer hours to achieve what you want to achieve, but you know what? You can't say you're failing. That you go out there and do it yourself.
Yeah, I think people look at those things and think, it's too much. Right? But the thing is, like, I think they're thinking short term and not long term.
Right.
And that's the reason why they don't want to do a lot of things or get that 3rd job.
Right.
It's because they're thinking short term. They want it now.
Yeah, that's the problem with us. We all want everything right now. And this is where, I give a lot of respect to, and unfortunately, it is what it is, but you get all these immigrants, and I know people are going to hate me for this, but you get these immigrants that come here and they work their ass off. They really do. They work 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs. They do what they have to do. And sometimes I see these people and I'm like, and then I got these Americans that come in and they, they're like, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to work that hard. Why should I?
Right.
But they don't sit home and complain and say, I don't have nothing, or I don't have a car, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I can't achieve nothing, I can't do nothing. And the immigrants are stealing my stuff. No, it's BS.
Yeah,
really
they're just
is.
working harder than you.
They're just working harder than you, and they're working for less because they have to work for less, because they have to take the sacrifice. One thing I didn't tell you guys, when I started doing construction, I was working $30 a day. $30 a day for 10 hours a day. That's $3 an hour. When minimum wage was like 5 something. But you know what? I wanted to do that construction because I saw that if he was an immigrant, Jimmy Smith, he was from Ireland. Yeah. I said, if he can do it, and he doesn't speak English, he barely spoke English, he can't read, he can't write, and he has a successful business, and if he's doing it, I can do it. Yeah. But I need to learn from him. I need to know what he's doing. And once I learned the business, which was quick, it was a wrap. You need to learn. People, the problem is that they want everything like what you said now. I want to come in the door, poof, and I want, $100 an hour. Now listen, come in the door, start in the bottom, learn the business, and when you learn the business and you get it, then come back.
You got to have a good foundation in order to build yourself up, pretty much.
Yeah, I get, I interview people almost every day, right? So people come to me all the time and, hey, I want a job and I want to make this much money. And I'm like, well, I can give you this. Come in, learn my business, learn what we do, and if you get to where you need to be, I'll give you what you want. But meet me halfway. No, I don't do that. Okay, and that's fine. You know what? Listen, I'm all for that. When you believe in yourself and you have that much trust in yourself. Like for me, if I go back into construction, there's a certain dollar value you're gonna have to pay me if you want me to go work for you. Absolutely, This is what I know what I'm worth, and I know I can get it right. I understand that. Maybe I'm cocky about it whatsoever, but I know I can get it, right? Now, when you're down and out and there's nothing around you and you're about to lose your apartment, lose everything that you got, that cockiness got to leave, right?
Yeah.
You got to say, okay,
Yeah, take that ego out.
Right. But when you get to a certain status and you've already established your stuff and you know what you're worth, you know what you can do. I get people all the time that call me and say, yeah, I'm not going to mention it, but there's a bunch of restaurants that recently called us and said, hey, Randy, can you take over my restaurant? It's failing. And we're going to lose it, and I don't want to lose it. And the first thing, I do is say, okay, but this is what I want. This is what I could take your restaurant. We can do it. We can put our name up there, and we'll put our name up, and I'll run it, and, you're going to make X, Y. Oh, no. But I want more. Well, you know what? It's my name that's going to go up there now, not your name.
Right.
And I'm willing to do that, and I'm willing to take all the risks from this point on, but we got to have, and it would end up
have some compromise there.
A lot of those guys, and it's happened not too long ago, they end up losing their restaurant. They end up losing their business because they just, sometimes people just, they don't want to sacrifice.
They don't.
You got to sacrifice. You got to work for what it is that you need. Don't be afraid. Listen, I clean toilets. I go on my hands and knees. I scrub my floors.
Yeah.
I was just telling my girl that today. We were just having the same conversation today about an employee that she didn't know she was on a schedule today. And then she said, well, I didn't know. But you asked me for more hours. She goes, yeah, but I didn't see the schedule. I got 35 employees. I'm supposed to call you and tell you where's your schedule. It's your job to look at your schedule.
Yeah.
So I said, if you really want to make money, you show up today. And she goes, oh, but I already have an appointment, to go do some stuff. So I guess that's more important than you having a job, right?
Right.
So people have to make sacrifice. They want stuff. They got to achieve it. You got to hustle it.
If you want something to change, you have to change something about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't have is self-awareness too.
Right.
If you're the more successful you are, I think the more awareness you have for yourself. You know who you are because you can make those decisions based off of your self-awareness.
Dude, I can't drink off a straw. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Just
you got
something
some water right there too.
Me and straws, and my girl hates it. She's like, why you guys drink off the cup? It's just because I don't know. It's like I feel like it's just not cool, dude. Right? It's not cool.
Makes you look weak.
Yeah, it makes you look weak. You're like here goes an entrepreneur restaurants, and I'm like, hold on, guys. It's not cool, man. I'm just drinking out. I'm like, I'm not feeling right, man. So, but I'm sorry. I lost track. And I'm like, I gotta suck the straw again. Like, I don't want to suck the straw. I just want to
fuck
drink out
this straw.
So, but yeah, listen, man. The bottom line is
you have some strong self-awareness though. Like you know yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes you successful.
And I know where I'm strong at. And I learned a long time ago when I got into the development business. Mitchell Hogberg. He's my mentor. Google him. He's my mentor. I always go to him. I just recently went to him for some advice. I said, Mitch, I'm plateauing at where I want to be at. And he's like, why are you doing chicken? Like, serious? You come back into the development business. I can make a ton of money with him. He's right. But you know what? I don't want to be under their wing. I don't want to be under their wing.
Right.
I need those guys to know.
Something for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, these are the guys who I played golf with Trump. I was on that team with them. I played on the same field with these guys. These guys are high developers, right? I don't want to be with them. I want to do my own thing, Yeah. And Mitchell is one of my mentors. So Mitchell Hogberg. So I went to him one day and I said to him, Mitch, I find myself not having nothing to do. Like I must be doing something wrong. And this is advice. First of all, he told me, he says, number one, when you find yourself that you have nothing to do and everything is running smoothly, it's because you already accomplished what you had to do. Now you have to get to the next level, right? So if your team is already managing and you come to work and your team is all functioning, and I operated from Florida to New York, and everybody knows what they're doing and they're operating on their own, that means that you've accomplished your goal. Now you got to get to another level and get somebody to take your job so that you can continue to grow and you can continue to move on. But and never be afraid to let it go. Never be afraid to let it go. Don't get attached to nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Because once you get too attached to something, you're going to fail at it.
Yeah.
So he says...
That's when your decisions start to So
he tells me, so I want you to know, I sold the business. He tells me, I said, you sold what? He said, we sold the business. He said, yeah, I think he sold it for like $30 million or something like that, right? He said, I sold the business. And he said, but they're going to keep me on board as a CEO. I'm going to run the business. Then I get to see this stuff. I see how these guys move. So then like maybe a year later, he goes, I bought the business back. Yeah, for like $15 million.
Huh.
So that means he profited.
Yeah.
15 million. He goes, but I sold it again for $300 million. So this is the stuff that I've gotten to see.
Wow.
And I live off of these guys, and I watch them. And when he sold it again to a bigger company, unfortunately, they got too big, too fast. This is before 9/11. They got big, too big. It was WCI. And they grew from the south in Florida, and they were trying to come up north. They bought a business in Virginia, and then they bought us out. And he said, but they keep me as CEO, right? So he's still a CEO. Now he's got like $300 million, right? And so shortly after that, they let him go.
Yeah.
And it was very emotional for me because I'm like, he's my mentor, you know. They let me go. He's like, dude, why are you worrying about it? Listen, I'm going to go get my brand new Bugatti. I'm going to the airport. I'm going to fly to France to pick up my yacht. Why are you worrying about that they let me go?
Right.
Because life moves on. You know, like this is what we do. Do not get attached. So at that time, I bought a house from them. We were building our own. So I bought my own home from my own company that we worked for. He said, sell it. Never get attached. Flip that house as soon as you can. And I learned a lot. Same thing with TPC. You know, I am emotionally attached, but you gotta learn when to let go. You gotta let go. You gotta know when it's time to move on to the next project and continue to change and find new opportunities. Yeah. And that's all we're doing. We're going from TPC, Empanada Factory, the brewery, to this new business.
So that's when when you know that everything's running smoothly. Now you have some more free time. Then that's when you open the next restaurant. Right. That's how you make those decisions. That's cool. Yeah. That's very cool.
We try to set one a year, but you really can't go on your go. You got to really go when the restaurant is ready for you to go. So the restaurants are all operating themselves. I mean, there's some things we got to fix, right?
Of course.
It's always going to be that. It's never going to be 100% perfect. But when it's pretty much on autopilot, then I got to start looking for something else. We got to continue to grow. I'm not getting any younger. We got to look for.
Yeah, it seems like the older I get, and I know I'm younger than you, but the older I get, the more I want to work.
Right.
It's like, fuck, man, I'm 32. I got to work more hard.
Yeah, I don't want to sit
And now I'm just
home.
like working 14, 17 hours a day. And sometimes I have like half a day off.
Right.
But really.
What are you going to do? Sit at home? Like before, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would sit at home. I can't wait to sit at home and watch this movie or watch. I don't even know how to use my TV. Serious. My daughter have to teach me. I get confused. I get stressed out.
Yeah.
Because it's like
too many buttons.
Yeah, no, it's connected to like the phone, and then it's like
right.
I get stressed out. I'm like, you know what? Just put, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other things to do, to learn, to read, to grow. You gotta have balance in your life. It doesn't mean that you're boring, right? You have to have balance in your life. But the same time that you're sitting home on the couch watching TV, that same time you can be developing your brain, you can be reading a book, you can be building your business, you can be networking, meeting other people, you can be growing in life.
Exactly.
You have to grow in life. If you sit at home, you're not growing.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to knock on your door and say, hey, Randy, you know what? I got an opportunity from you. The only way these businesses grew was by me going out there. Quickly, I know we might have to wrap up, but how we got Latin Quarters was I went to eat in a pizza shop, Capitol Boulevard. I met the owner. Me and him hit it off. And 4 years later, he's my main partner. He's my right-hand side, my right-hand guy.
Yeah.
I don't make a move without talking to him. And it just so happened I went to the pizza shop with Eric, and we started eating pizza. We started talking to this guy. And look, about networking. If I would have never went there, Latin Quarters, this TPC that we have, and the new project that we're doing, and these breweries would have never existed. I still would have been in the first TPC, wondering if I should make a move, wondering if I should. And this guy that I met is like, why are you hesitating? What are you afraid of?
Right.
And I'm like, well, I think that spot is too big or the rent is too crazy. And he looks at me and says, you know what, we're signing the lease. And I'm like, no, hold on. We're signing the lease. No, wait. And, we're moving forward.
Mira, chamo, come on.
Like, he pushes me.
Right.
He pushes me. So
nice.
like this deal, I'm not
going to gotta have someone like that in your life.
My
right?
stomach is turning on this deal. I'm like, I'm nervous about it. You got to be nervous. But I know at the same time, I can't be afraid. I know what I can do. Yeah. So we're moving forward with it. But I'm nervous with it, so.
Yeah, it's just like when I used to teach improv. And so one of the things that I told my students always was like, you just got to go up there and say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to go do it and that's it. And everybody I talk to that knows what the transition that's about to happen, they're like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure? You positive? That location went like this. And I said, I know it went like that. But I'm not worrying about what they did. It's what I'm going to do with it.
Right.
Because it was like this, and it totally dropped, and I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see the numbers? I don't care about his numbers. It's not what he's doing. It's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but at the same token, if I didn't have Rich, I would not be as aggressive as I am. You know, Rich really is that other side of my brain that's like, are you crazy? Do you know what you can do? You know you can do it. I mean, I know this side tells me I can do it too.
Right.
But then there's that.
Yeah, you still got a little bit of yourself just being hesitant.
And you still have some people around you. I try to surround myself with positive, motivated people, but I still have that little bit of niche of people that are, you know, like, oh, Randy, you know, that's a big move. Yeah. But then I look at their lifestyle and I'm like, but that's why you stuck where you are. Yeah. Because you're not taking chances. Yeah, I'm always taking chances, always taking big chances. And one day I'm gonna roll the right dice. It's just, it's maybe not today, but I'm gonna roll the right dice. Yeah. And I'm gonna, you know, hit the right location and right spot. You know.
Exactly. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's very cool. So you got all these restaurants, you got some breweries going on. Yeah. The next step is that big restaurant. Yeah. So looks like you're doing some big things, man. Yeah, that restaurant. I like it. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Why don't you tell everyone where they could find your places and how to contact them and all that stuff? So
we have a Tropical Pig and Chicken in Wake Forest. That's the mother location. That's located at 109 Capcom Street in Wake Forest. Then we have the Empanada Factory, which is 2010 South Main Street. We have and
these are all in North Carolina, right?
That's in North Carolina. Okay, cool. And Wake Forest. Then we also have Tropical Pig and Chicken in Raleigh, which is right across from the Costco's. So, Six Forks and Wake Forest Road. It's right across from the Costco's. There's a McDonald's there. Then we have Lincoln Brewery, which is on Capitol Boulevard, right next to the BJ's. There's a BJ's there. There's a a Lifetime gym there as well. And Red Bowls, the Chinese restaurant, promoting them. They're there as well. but we're in that complex, and we're off the grid. So it's hard to find Lincoln Brewery, but it's a beautiful brewery. I mean, we have all the dispensers there, the distillery. It's beautiful. It's a family place. You can come with the kids. You can come with the dog. Cool. You know, come with your dog, eat. We have food in there. Then we have the new, he's called it Abe's House, and it's right across from the PNC Arena, and that location is a full-blown restaurant. Yeah. Also,
I gotta check that out.
It's a brewery, but it's not a brewery, but it's a full-blown restaurant. Yeah. But we sell Lincoln beer, so we moved the beer over. Cool. And then we got our new project, which is very simple. After the 15th, we'll disclose it, but we'll be in the Crabtree Mall. Just come look for me in the Crabtree Mall, and I'll give you a hint. We're close to like the P.F. Chang's area, so we're on that side of the mall. All right. Yeah, and it's a big restaurant. It seats about maybe 200 people. And so we got a lot of stuff happening.
Cool. Yeah. Now, when you get hesitant, like you said you sometimes get, do you look for any decisions that you make? Do you look for the challenges in things, and is that what really drives you?
Yeah, it's
right?
the drive. Yeah. Right? Same thing with construction, right? You know, is the drive. You're looking at an empty spot, and somebody's telling you, "I want to create a movie theater here." And you're like, all right, I got this. You know, and I want speakers in the wall, and I want a waterfall, and I want the screen in the wall, and I want the screen to come from the ceiling, and they want all this stuff, right? You're like, I got this, I can do it. Then you look at the job, you're like, no, I really can't do this, you know, like. But you get an architect, you start drawing it out, and then when you finish the project, you sit back and you look at your accomplishment, and be like, wow, we created this from nothing. And that's the same thing what we're looking at right now. You know, we created this from nothing. You know, there was. TBC existed. I bought it from somebody, but nobody heard of it. You know, it didn't really exist. And we created this little brand so big that we got national attention from, you ever heard of Pollo Tropican?
Yeah, I have.
Right, so they all over. Pollo Tropican probably has over 200 stores. They're basically in Florida, and they're Texas-based company.
I lived in Florida, so that's where I went,
and they in Puerto Rico. Well, like, they bugging me. You know, they sending me, they contacted me and said, you know what, your chicken and your name resembles us too much.
Yeah. Change your chicken.
Yeah, change your chicken. That's basically what they told me. Change your chicken or change your name. Yeah. So we have Pollo, we have Tropical Pickin' Chicken. Yeah. They have Pollo Tropican. It's two different names, man. Right. Two different concepts. They have a palm tree as their logo. They used to have a chicken, and we have a chicken. So they said, your chicken looks too much like ours. Now, this is a national company. Right. We're not in Florida. We're not in Puerto Rico. They're not in North Carolina. They're not in South Carolina. We're hundreds of miles apart. Yeah. Why would they come to us? Because we hit them on the web. We hit them on the social media. Yeah. Because if you Google tropical, I come up first. If you Google pollo, I come up first. It's not my fault. Not my fault, right? we have an aggressive marketing team that puts us on top of the search engines.
That's good.
So now they asked me to change my logo. Mm-hmm. So we did. We changed. We still not complete. We're still back and forth. And I'm hoping that we can work it out better. They want me to put a mustache on my chicken. I don't want to put a mustache on the chicken. They asked me to change the glasses. I changed the glasses.
Nah, man, just keep doing you.
What else?
Just keep doing
change
you.
the hat.
They want you to change the hat.
So we changed the hat and that's
make it a baseball cap.
We did. We did with New York Yankees on it. So that's where we are now.
Nice.
But we caught national attention. That's good. I just hope maybe they come by. Why didn't they just buy me out? Say, you know what? We take both restaurants, make it Pollo Traficante. Go ahead. Do it, you know?
Throw some $1 million on me.
You can have it, you know.
So I do want to talk about real quick something that you did with Puerto Rico, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. What was it exactly that you did with Puerto Rico?
What happened was we were doing our own drive for Puerto Rico, and the drive was to get donations. And we had no clue how we were going to get on PR. We were just like, we'll worry about that when we get there. Right. I'm like a bull in a China club. I just go right at it. Let's just do it, right? So while we were doing it, I started reaching out to people that I know in the network. And that's how we got local attention, local radio stations and TV stations Channel 11 and Channel 5 that wanted to do interviews with us. So while that happened, we still didn't know how to get the stuff over to PR. Mm-hmm. But my daughter found a guy, I think his name is Jose. And he said, hey, listen, I have a connection in Florida where we send everything through FEMA and we can get it over there. And I said, fine, but how are you going to get it to Florida? We'll figure that out too when we get everything. Right. So in the interim, we did the interview with Channel 11 and that went live. And some of my customers who are good friends of ours within the circle, they called me and said, hey, Randy, we're doing something too. It was NC for Puerto Rico. Yeah. And they right across the street from us. Nice. So they said, why don't you tag team with us? This was Frankie Medina. And I said, sure, let's do that. And that's so in interim, he was helping me and I was ended up helping him. But he did a lot of the legwork and he did all the legwork. And I'm not going to say a lot. He did all the legwork in getting the products from here to Puerto Rico. I did just probably some of the marketing that helped bring a lot of the customers. Kind of lift it up a little bit. Right? I helped them lift it up. But that's what happened. And I think Frankie was able to collect over 200,000 tons of items, over 300 pallets of merchandise that went to that ended up going to PR. Wow! And you know what? It was just great to see the outburst of the community, just people
coming together, right?
But not only what happened was when we were doing it, we were getting so many. And by the way, whoever sees this, I apologize if I didn't get back to them. We were getting so many calls, emails, messages through Facebook that they wanted to do the same kind of drive and they wanted our help. But listen, I'm trying to run the restaurants. We're trying to open PNC Arena. We got a new deal going on. I'm trying to help Puerto Rico. Yeah. It's only so much that I can handle. Exactly. So I wasn't able to I tried to reach out to everybody and there was some people I just couldn't. But some people did their own drive. One lady did one in Cary and it was super humongous. And she did it with the support of Rockets Pizza. And they ended up bringing probably a quarter of a truck from that donation drive over to us. And we had a bunch of other smaller groups. That was the largest. We had a bunch of other smaller groups, schools and stuff, that were just driving all the donations our way. And then we would take it from our store, bring it over to the warehouse, which was across the street. Yeah. It was across the street from the Valley Police Department. It was actually an ABC warehouse. Where they stored all their liquor. I was like, why can't we just take the liquor to Puerto Rico? So, they'll be happy. So we stored, they stored everything over there, but everybody got involved, and it was so good to see everybody involved and pitching in and trying to, do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Again, we got slack, from some of the non-Latin, communities. Right. How come you didn't do this when it happened in Texas? And how come you didn't do it for our community? Or why you didn't do it in Mexico when Mexico had the earthquake? Right. And actually, I was in Mexico when they had the earthquake. So, oh, wow. Yeah, I was on a radio station. So, so it's, we can't listen. As much as I have a big heart and I want to help everybody, but I can't do everything all the time. Right. Puerto Rico was a direct hit to my home, to my family, to my culture. To my friends. I got friends out there right now that I just spoke to last week that are telling me, successful people that are like, Randy, we still have no light. We still got no water. We still have no gas. We got no food. Yeah. I've seen my neighbors pass away, and
it's not even in the news or anywhere,
Yeah, to see that stuff. And I just spoke to him last week. So he's telling me, Randy, can you send me can you send me fans with battery fans? They send me battery fans. Can you send me lamps with battery? Everything with battery, because we still have no light. It's hot as hell. We have no electricity. And to see people, he says, Randy, I've seen, neighbors that I know for many years pass away from not hunger, but from illnesses, sicknesses, because they can't get to the hospital.
Basic illnesses.
We're talking last week. We're not talking 3 weeks ago. We're talking last week. They still have issues. Puerto Rico still, there's a lot of parts of it that doesn't have water and electricity. I have friends out there that are doing okay. They're not dying or anything. They're doing okay, but they're dying to get out of there. They just can't get out of there because they need to secure their home, get their flights, and they're taking their whole family out. They're coming back to New York. Yeah. But it was a direct hit to my life.
Exactly.
So I had no and listen, being the only Puerto Rican restaurant in North Carolina, I'm the only Puerto Rican restaurant. How can I not respond?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like your responsibility, right?
I'm responsible. I feel responsible. I have to respond, Mexico, we were there in between the earthquakes. Richard and I, we were doing a promoting a beer, and we got to see a lot of bad stuff. We were there also during the storm. They had a heavy storm. We was in Texas as well too, and we saw a lot of bad stuff. But at the end of the day, they're not suffering the way Puerto Rico is. Right. They got light, they got electricity, they moving on, right? The whole entire island, no electricity the first week. Then after the third week, 85% of it still doesn't have it. Yeah. Now I don't know what the percentage is, maybe 60, 70%, but still think about us here in North Carolina. Imagine us with no light, no electricity, no water, no gas. Just imagine that. And no food, because you can't go to a restaurant. They ain't got no supplies. So, and the only bad part of here is that we don't grow our own food, right? Over there, they go to their backyard. They got a mango. They got some plátanos. They're good, right?
That's true.
They put some trees together, throw out some fire, put a pot, cut some plátanos, and bam, they got mango or something. Right? Bam, they can cook food, right?
Right.
But so they can survive, right? But still, it hurts, and it hurts to hear friends and people that I talk to that like. It's really bad, So we had no choice but to take the initiative. We did. I'm glad that I teamed up with Freddie and he took he did all the legwork. It was just us being a donation spot.
Right. Yeah, that's very cool, man. Are you still taking donations or anything?
At this point, we stopped.
Just closed. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we stopped because we still had so much stuff, but we didn't have. That's it. His avenue to get it over there was already done. So this stuff now we're actually sending it to Venezuela and to Mexico.
Oh, really?
Through a church.
You're sending it to my people.
Yeah,
I love
to Venezuela and to Mexico because I didn't know, to be honest. I'm work.
Yeah.
I have no clue that Venezuela is going through any issues.
Yeah.
And just Monday, one of my cooks, who's Mexican, tells me, Randy, let's send everything to Venezuela. I was like, why Venezuela? Like, why? Let's send it to Mexico. You're Mexican. Let's send it to Mexico. Mexico's suffering. And she's like, you don't know what's going on in Venezuela? I was like, no, I don't. And she is bringing me up to date. And I was like, all 3 stores sent everything to Venezuela. And so church came by and they picked it up. And
that's good, man. And my family, I'll give you an example. My grandma used to weigh like 135 pounds, and now she weighs 86 pounds.
Wow.
And it's because no one has jobs, no one has work, no one has food, water, nothing.
It's amazing how these countries suffer like that. You know? And when going back in the development business, my number 1 customer was from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Very wealthy Venezuelans will come here and buy up New York City. They'll buy 2 or 3, condos for worth $10-20 million. And then but they've always
used to be good, right?
Yeah, but they've always told me we don't live like this in Venezuela.
Oh, wow.
We live like this here. When we come here, this is our lifestyle here.
Gotcha.
When we go to Venezuela, they will show me pictures of how they live, and I'm like
it's like a big difference, right?
Yeah, like how and they said, well, you can't show your lifestyle over there. They'll rob you, they'll kill you, so they'll try to kidnap you and
they'll steal your houses.
Yeah. So, but they would live lavishly over here. Yeah. But over there they wouldn't. But that was my number 1 customer, was from Venezuela.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So
long live Venezuela and Puerto Rico. All right, man. Thanks. That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Good talk, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep me talking. I'll keep talking forever, man. You be like, listen, the show finished 2 hours ago.